Everyone knows that Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia messed up his franchise by trading for Bradley Beal, the player with what was widely considered the worst contract in all of the NBA. Though Beal is a perfectly fine NBA player known for his shooting and ability to put the ball on the floor and create a shot, the problem with his presence is his otherworldly fat and restricting contract. During the summer of 2022, Beal signed a 5-year Supermax extension featuring a no-trade clause with the Washington Wizards. This meant he had full veto power over any trade he could ever be involved in throughout the deal. It also meant he would be earning around $50 million a year for 5 years. In 2025, Bradley Beal was the 5th highest paid player in all of the NBA. The barely top 100 Beal earned more money than Devin Booker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, or even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. First of all, good for him, but holy cow, this has screwed over the Suns in a way their owner Matt Ishbia could never have imagined. They were the highest spending team in NBA history last year, yet they failed to even make the play-in. This has forced them to turn their focus elsewhere to try to salvage their team. This past season, they scapegoated their on-court problems to their starting center, Jusuf Nurkic, who certainly wasn't great. But after Nurkic was traded, the Suns' diehards rejoiced online, but their team fell apart, going from a 13-12 record with Nurkic to 23-34 without. The reality was he was not the problem. They also traded away a disgusting number of draft picks, putting Kevin Durant on their team a year prior to Beal's arrival, which has given them a dire future in the youth department. Even though they did not make the postseason this past year, they find themselves drafting 29th overall this summer due to past trades. Now, Matt Ishbia is showing the world his cards. He wants to trade his 2 highest paid players. He is desperate to send them away for anything to try to make the Suns fun again. Arizona basketball fans love Devin Booker. Matt Ishbia knows this and has told the world that he is their lone untouchable, but almost anyone else is available to be moved. Unfortunately, the Suns are a second apron team, which means they cannot pair players together. It makes the math really hard to make any deals happen, but anything can happen. That brings us to today's topic: 5 possible Kevin Durant trades for the summer of 2025. Their lone, highly sought after and available all-star caliber player on the team on a single-year contract is their only hope. Before I give you guys some predictions, please do me a big favor and like the video, as it helps me out far more than I think you guys realize, and subscribe for more basketball-related content. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers by the time Durant is moved, so let's make that happen. The first deal I have for you today sees KD heading to the Miami Heat in exchange for Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, and their 2025 first-round pick at 20th overall. Miami is a perpetual win-now team who seems to be spinning their wheels. They have not made their team any better in quite a long time. Sure, they overachieved a couple years ago with Jimmy Butler, but for the most part, they are a high-seed team that struggles to escape the play-in. They looked like a punching bag this past year in round 1. Obviously, Durant elevates their offense to a massive degree, as he would be able to split the primary shot creation ability with their up-and-coming star Tyler Hero, and they would be able to retain Bam Adebayo, which is a huge win for them. You may be looking at this return for Phoenix and arguing that this is not equal to the value of a player like Durant, but you have to realize the situation both he and the Suns are in. KD is on an expiring deal. Whoever trades for him only guarantees his services for a single season. You cannot sacrifice too much of your future for just 1 year. Plus, the opposition has the power. The Suns are desperate. If they play hard to get, then the other side could just say have fun running it back with your 1-year-older 36-win crazy expensive team. At least Rozier is expiring. Robinson is also expiring, but he's a solid role player thanks to his shooting. And Jaquez gives them youth and on-court versatility that I'm sure they would love. Plus, he is of Mexican descent, which Arizona fans would adore. And the draft pick at 20th overall obviously is not the greatest in the world, but this is a very strong draft. They should be able to get a role player right away with that pick. The Suns would love to add 2 first-round rookies to their team, their 29th plus Miami's 20th. Again, I recognize this deal is not amazing, but it is realistic. Up next, we have KD going to the Utah Jazz in exchange for John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, Cody Williams, and their 2025 first-round pick at 5th overall. Utah owner Ryan Smith just appointed Austin Ainge as president of basketball operations, and collectively the team has announced their desire to make tanking a thing of the past and push to win games in 2026. I say good for them. A great way to greatly elevate your team's on-court success would be to add Durant. The Jazz are not nearly as awfully constructed as their 2025 record would lead you to believe. They intentionally sat most of their good players as often as they could get away with all season long in order to rack up losses. Lauri Markkanen is a star. Walker Kessler is one of the best defensive bigs in the sport. Colin Sexton has been itching to break through and lead a team to the playoffs, and they have a few promising young guys like Kyle Filipowski, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Taylor Hendricks who are on the rise. KD joining this team would be a lot of fun to watch. For Phoenix, initially you may be disgusted by this haul, but again, the Jazz are in the position of power. Collins is not only an expiring deal, but he is also a severely underrated player who can immediately start and put up a double-double average for Phoenix. Clarkson I am admittedly less high on, but he is a veteran who could be a spark plug off the bench who can play either guard role for a year before his deal expires. And Cody Williams is a buy low, wait and see player who just had one of the worst rookie seasons a lottery pick can have. But he is a local high school product, and there is the possibility that his presence on the team may entice a certain brother of his their way one day in the future. But of course, the main reason the Suns say yes is that 5th overall pick. They would be getting a really good player that high in the draft. Maybe they take their center of the future in Kamen Malawak. Maybe they get a sharp-shooting defender in Kon Knuppel. Or maybe they pick a point guard with loads of potential like Jeremiah Fears. The future with any of those guys is better than the present without. For my third option, we have KD going to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Jalen Green, Reed Shepherd, Jock Landale, and their 2025 first-round pick at 10th overall. Houston is the team most talked about right now as the eventual KD destination, and this is for good reason. They had a lot of success last season, winning 52 games, but looked young and inexperienced in the playoffs, losing in round 1 to Golden State. Still though, they have some high upside players to be extremely excited about. Amen Thompson and Alperen Şengün are legitimate future All-NBA stars in the making. Plus, Cam Whitmore and Jabari Smith Jr. remain young and full of potential. Throwing KD into that mix to take the pressure off of these guys in the half-court set would be an absolute cheat code. You may not like Houston giving up what is essentially 2 very young lottery picks, but at the same time, getting off of Jalen Green's deal that is worth $100 million over 3 years is a blessing. Remember, KD is an expiring contract. Depending what they decide to do with Fred VanVleet's team option, they could have a good chunk of cap space to play with in the summer of 2026. Phoenix would obviously love this haul of youth and upside. Shepherd and the 10th overall pick would be a dream come true relative to the other trades that I have mocked up. Plus, Jalen Green still has potential, even if you wish he were making half the money he is. And Jock Landale is already a fan favorite former Sun who brings them offensive firepower in the center role. Sure, maybe they aren't immediately a better team after this deal, but we may be surprised. Having KD off the court would change the offensive playstyle of the team. Even with as good as he was at hitting his tough contested mid-range jumpers, the fact of the matter is those are not high point per attempt looks. I think Booker and KD forced way too many tough shots last year. They will have more success playing like a team, shooting off of passes, and collectively all playing high-effort defense. They would hope this young group of players can bring them that playstyle and effort. The next move I have would be KD going to the San Antonio Spurs in exchange for Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and their 2025 first-round pick at 14th overall. Assuming everything is all better medically with Victor Wembanyama, San Antonio may have the brightest future in all of the NBA. Wemby is an otherworldly talent with the potential to be both the league's MVP and DPOY for many years to come. This year's number 2 overall pick that will almost certainly be Dylan Harper also looks to be a sure thing future star in the league. And last year's Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle, showcased a lot to be excited about in year 1. Throw in the fact that they are not bogged down by any fat long-term deals, The Spurs are ready to build a contender. And what better way to contend in the future than try to contend right now? If they pull off this move, then San Antonio would have both De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Durant on their team next year on only one-year deals, playing alongside their young core. This would give them incredibly valuable win-now experience while they're young. And if things go well, they would have first dibs at retaining either player. Phoenix, meanwhile, would appreciate Vassell as a long-term addition to their rotation on a team-friendly descending contract. Barnes would be a single-year rental who offers veteran championship-level leadership and floor spacing. And that 14th overall pick is a sneaky valuable one as it gives them a talented young player. They could swing any direction with that pick. Maybe they get a big like Derek Queen or Thomas Sorber. Maybe they take a forward like Colin Murray-Boyles or Liam McNeely. Or perhaps they opt for a point guard like Nolan Traore or Ben Seraph. The possibilities really are endless. Some reports are pointing towards this being a done deal, but I am not so sure. Let's wait and see. And finally, the fifth trade idea I have would be KD going to the New York Knicks in exchange for Karl Anthony Towns, Tyler Kolek, and their 2025 second round pick at 50th overall. We all know the Knicks just made the conference finals, but they fell short against a team most people had them beating. Towns is not a great interior defensive piece. KD has shown flashes of being a great rim protector as well as having an offensive ability second to very few. This slight improvement overall may be enough to push New York over the edge to contend. And we all know New York is supposedly a premier superstar destination. Maybe KD has been yearning to return since leaving Brooklyn. Maybe this is a team that he would thrive in. I don't know. For Phoenix, this is a very different sort of move compared to the others I don't think is off the table in the mind of Matt Ishbia. What better way to save your reputation amongst your fans than to win a title? That would be the objective here. Cat is a top 5 center in the NBA. His offensive abilities are matched by a very select few. He may be the best three-point shooting center in league history. Plus, he and Booker were teammates way back in college and are well known to be good friends off the court. They have been talking about pairing up as long as they have been in the NBA. The haul of young players may be disappointing, but this is not a move for the future. This is a move for right now. I definitely could see the Suns pull the trigger on this deal, but I am also not convinced New York would. But they are a team whose name is in the headlines quite often for trade rumors. And they did just fire their head coach for whatever reason, so obviously they're not happy with how far they got this past year. They may want to make this deal happen. So there you have it, 5 possible Kevin Durant trades that may just be around the corner. Thank you guys for watching all the way up to the end. I really do appreciate it. Please let me know where you think he is headed, and also give me some other names of players you think are destined to be traded this summer. I will see you all next time.